G'day, RGgift crew. Hope you're having a fantastic day today and your family's happy and healthy. All right, we're going to take a look at the Pimax Crystal Light, a fairly new player in the VR headset group and market. And they've kindly sent me a copy of the Pimax Crystal Light to review and test out. I've been having a bit of problems getting into it, not because of the headset or anything like that. It's because I've been quite busy. So it's a little bit delayed, but here I am with the review. I've had this now for about a week, 2 weeks, and getting used to it, and mainly trying to get ATS and ETS2 to work in VR. I had a lot of difficulties doing it because, unfortunately, I did the thing that most people do is I checked out a few videos online to see how I set up ATS and ETS2 in VR, and they misled me. But anyway, I've learnt my lesson, and now I just do things my own way. And that's exactly what I did. But anyway, let's have a quick look at that. And before we do, don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, it's free. And if you would consider doing that, I would really appreciate it. It helps me out tremendously. All links to the VTC and the Discord are below. There'll also be some links in the description for some special discounts using my gift codes. And Pimax has graciously given me some discounts to offer to my subscribers. So look for them down in the links below. Right, so yes, the Pimax is a very, very impressive PC VR. And it's a high-end one. So a bit of a heads up there. It is not inexpensive, but it's worth its money for sure from what I've seen so far. I will be giving it more extensive testing over the next month or so, or even longer, depending on how long I've got a hold on it. And I will be letting you know how it fares. But yeah, it's integrate everything. You can read all about it on their website. Tomorrow's tech for today's applications, optimized for today's gaming PCs. You need a minimum spec of an RTX 280 and recommended RTX 370 and higher. I've got the 5070. Plug and pay with Pimax LAM tracking. And again, it tells you all about it here and some of the games that it can be hooked up to, and specifications. Now, I know that's what you want. I'm going to go through the specifications, then I'll show you how to set it up for Euro Truck Simulator and American Truck Simulator, and then I'll show you some gameplay so you can see exactly how good this is. Unfortunately, with the gameplay, it records not what I see, but what the screen sees that I'm recording from, which is a lesser quality than what I see in the headset. So unfortunately, don't get too much of an idea from the gameplay because it doesn't truly show you the immersion and the quality that I see through the headset. I'm working on a way to find out how I can actually do that and show you the actual quality that I see, the crispness and the clarity. But maybe that'll be in a later video because I haven't worked that out yet. But what's in the box? You get the Crystal Light headset, 1 unit. You get 2 controllers. And I'll go through that and I'll show you them in real life so you can see them. DP cable, power adapter, and after-sales service card. The specifications are it's a PC VR. The resolution is an astounding 2880 per eye. 2880 by 2880 per eye. 35 ppd. Display is QLED plus mini LED. Local dimming optional. Getting all tongue-tied here. Refresh rates from 60, 72, 90 and 120 hertz. Field of view is 105 degrees horizontal. Lenses material are glass. Lenses type are aspheric. Tracking mode is the 6DOF inside-out tracking. IPD 58 to 72 millimeter manual. Foveate rendering is fixed at 2.0. Lighthouse faceplate compatibility, yes. Eye tracking, none. Weight is 815 grams, so it's not real light, but it's not real heavy either. And I've been wearing it on and off for quite a bit of time, and yeah, it's reasonably comfortable. And I wear glasses, and I'm actually wearing glasses in it, and a lot of people say you can't do it with it, but I'm wearing glasses and it works fine. It's a little bit of a trick to get them on with your glasses on, but once you get used to it, you can get them in there, not a problem. DMA-S compatibility, yes. And then you can, for more information, you can reach out to them for live chat. So what we'll do now is we'll get rid of that, and we'll go into Steam and show you this is now going to show you, actually before we do that, let me show you the headset. So you can see it in real life, what it looks like. Now this is, again, I'm not a professional reviewer and whatnot, so this is going to look a little bit weird, but just bear with me while I get it. I've got to put it on my lap, and then I've got to change my keyboard and mouse so that I've got two computers and I've got to use one keyboard and mouse for them. You wouldn't believe what I go through for you guys. Okay, where are we? This one here. All right, so as you can see here is the headset. Whoops, let me get it around there so you can have a look at it. It's quite a big headset, but it's worth the weight and the price, etc. As you can see there's the two aspherical lenses inside. If I can get that on the right angle for you guys. It's hard to show you. Then you've got your headband and your padding. Padding is really good. Very comfortable. Nice and spongy. You've got the good faceplate padding. Really spongy, really comfortable. And yeah, that's it. And it comes with a couple of paddles, and I'll grab them here. Here they are here. You've got two paddles that it comes with, two controllers, have all your joystick moves. It's got your B, A, and your Y, X, and a couple other buttons that you'll need. Trigger on the front, and also triggers on the side. I've got them on the wrong hand. Goes that way. Triggers on the front, triggers on the side, your buttons, and your joysticks. And they work extremely well. They come with wrist bands, so that if you've got them, so you don't drop them, you can put them on your wrist, like so. And if you happen to let go, they're not going to go anywhere. Really good quality of these guys, and they work really well. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll jump over into Steam. Again, let me click a few buttons so that I can get my mouse over here. All right, so in Steam, the adjustments that you need to make, this is extremely easy. A lot of people on YouTube tell you that you've got to do this, you've got to do that, and they make it look harder than what it should be. They mess around with your config files and stuff like that. You don't have to do any of that, believe me. I've done extensive testing and found out that you don't need to mess around with your config file. You can leave your config file the way it is. All you've got to do is a couple of adjustments in Steam and a couple of adjustments in game, and I'll show you them. So the first thing you need to do, right click on either American Truck Simulator or Euro Truck Simulator 2, go to properties, and in the launch option, ignore this stuff here. That's other stuff that I have. But the most important thing is you want to put in minus open XR or minus open VR in your launch options. That way it will launch in VR, depending on what VR headset you've got. For the Pimax Crystal Light, it's open XR. So that's number one setting. And number two, you've got to come over to your betas. And in your betas, it will say none if you're on the current version of the game. You then have to go for Oculus Open VR plus Open XR 1.56. Click on that. It will download some code for you, and then you'll be up and running as far as Steam's concerned. All right, so again, we'll go through that. Excuse me. In your launch options, open XR, open VR, and then betas, you want to go for your Oculus, open VR, open XR, and 1.56 because that's the current version of the game. And that's all you've got to do in Steam. Then in the game, let's go to the game. And I'm actually going to, now this is going to look contradictory, but I'm going to take this out for now because I don't want to go into VR yet because I just want to show you the settings, and it's easier to do it this way for now. So I've taken that out and you'll see that it won't start in VR. So we'll go in here, click play, and I'll show you the settings that you need to do in game. Okay, so in the game, go to your options. Make sure you're on your VR profile. You can see up there in the top right, my VR profile. And my Discord's coming up. In the settings, you want to make sure that you're on 1920 by 1080 resolution. And you want to be on around about 84 or 99 hertz. You want to enable vertical synchronization, and your frames per second. For me, I found the best is 60, but again, if you're a more powerful system, you might be able to go up as high as 120. But I sit at 60, and the game runs quite smoothly, and FPS in background is 30 as per usual. Now, this is one of the big settings you have to change, the scaling. Now, I tried it on 200 and it actually works on 200 and it's beautiful and clear, but it does get frame loss at certain points in the game. I've tried it at every other sort of in-between setting between 200, and I found that 100 is, for me, the best. For you, if you've got a more powerful unit, it might be higher. For you, if you've got a less powerful unit, it might be lower at 50%. But for me, it works at 100%. I do have anti-aliasing on in-game. I use SMAA Ultra, works fine. Textures, I still have it high. Anisotropic filtering at 16 by. Normal maps, I normally have that turned on, I think. Don't know why that wasn't. Maybe I unclicked it by mistake, but adds appearance of it. Yeah. So normal maps, have that on. Now, reflection scaling, I've dropped that down to 50 because I found that if I had it higher, that again, I lost too many frames and it was a bit jittery. Reflection detail, low for mirrors. I always use low on mirrors, so that hasn't changed for me. Shadow quality, I normally have that as high as possible, but I've put that on medium. I use fast shadows. I don't worry about interior shadows. And screen ambient occlusion, I have that on high. I disable light visibility ranges only because I'm not driving at night for you guys when I'm doing this demo. Depth of field is off. I always have that off. I always have sun shafts on. Vegetation detail, I have it medium. I normally have that super high. Grass density, I normally have that at high, but now it's on low. And again, with weather quality, I normally have that on ultra, but I've got that at medium. And I've turned pedestrians off just to test it. I mean, I could probably turn it on and be fine. But again, these are just base settings to show you what settings I use for to get VR to work, and you may need to tweak yours a little bit higher or lower. So these are just your base settings that work for me. Your settings may be higher or lower. Remember that. And then just click apply and everything is fine. And then, yeah, so that's the settings in game. So once you set that, you should be right. Now in Pimax itself, let me get out of here. And then bring Pimax over. In Pimax itself, my settings, I'm going to show you my settings, but I'm pretty sure most of my settings are actually default. So we go to device settings, and here they are here. Okay, so auto. I leave the room lighting frequency on auto. I've got mine at 90 hertz because it seems to work better there. Again, you might want to go higher or lower. This 90 hertz upscale lab is actually 60 hertz upscaled to 90 hertz. But I haven't tried that yet, actually, but I will do. Brightness, screen timeout, I've got it 5 minutes. Brightness, I've got it 100. A lot of people like to drop that, but I find that for me, 100 is fine. But again, that's your preference. Handle vibration adjust, again, your preference. And for controller, because I'm also using this with other games to test it out, I simulate as Valve Index controllers so that I can use the controllers in other Valve or Steam games. So that's in devices. In games, you can then come in here. This is your common settings for your games. Image quality I've got on auto, so that it picks its own image quality. GPU upscaling, I don't think I changed anything in there. No, I haven't done anything in there. Didn't do anything in sharpness. Fixed foveate rendering, I've got quad views on, and they tell you, a lot of people tell you on YouTube to turn them off, but I found they work fine, and I've got it on balance. Pimax central priority rendering, I've got that off, only because that was off by default. And smart smoothing I have on just to give it a bit more of a chance to smooth. General settings, again, headset as default audio output device. You can do that if you want. It's personal preference. I change it as I go. Home default, and then advanced. I didn't mess around with anything in advanced. I just left it as it was. So you don't have to change an awful lot in there. In fact, basically nothing. Everything practically default in there. Now, one thing I will suggest that you do is do a room setup first before you do anything. Each time that you go to, or each day that you start off, I would redo your room setting just to make sure that it's calibrated and set up ready to rock and roll for your room size. I am in an extremely small room. It's 2 meters by 2.5 meters. That's my studio. I'm not rich, so I can't afford a massive big studio. I'm basically in a cupboard. So, and I can still use the VR in here without hitting too much. The world is wonderful. Okay, so that's all the settings. Now, what I will say is that Pimax Crystal Light isn't perfect, but damn, it's good. All right, it's definitely not perfect, but it's bloody good. All right, and again, I will not back anything, and I've done very limited testing as far as time-wise goes. I've done a lot of testing as far as changing settings and setting things up and playing other games, etc. I mean, the VR games that I've been playing, where are they? They're down the bottom here somewhere. Yeah, Air Car. I've tried it out on Air Car, which probably everyone does, and it works tremendously in there. And the visuals and the graphics are crystal clear, hence the name Crystal Light. I've tried it on Google Earth VR and works tremendously in there, although the controllers need to be rebound because I can't turn around in it. I can go everywhere, do everything else, but for some reason I can't get it to turn around. But again, that's only because the bindings need to be changed and I haven't had a chance to do it yet. I've tried Paradise Hotel, fantastic little game, just to get started because I can't afford to buy any of the most expensive VR games at the moment. But in Paradise Hotel, works tremendously. Also, the reason, or Propagation Paradise Hotel, the reason I got interested in that is because I tried out Propagation first. This is a fantastic little game, this one. You've basically got to shoot zombies and spiders and all sorts of things. It's fantastic. I'll do a video on this later. I'll do a video on all the VR games that I've played, so you can actually see what the headset looks like. And again, I highly recommend, if you can afford a Pimax VR headset and you're looking for something that's definitely high end, it's definitely the way to go. I'm going to try and get a hold of a Meta Quest or whatever, Oculus, or Quest 3 or whatever it is, Quest S3, or to compare them, and that way give you a real good comparison between a lower end one and a higher end one, so that you know exactly what you're going to get in for if you buy the more expensive one. And like I say, I do have some fantastic discounts or gift codes in the description, so don't forget to click on them if you're looking at buying one of these headsets. For a start, there's in Australian dollars, one of the codes gives you $120 off, plus a $25 mystery gift. So yeah, look for those codes down the bottom, because like I say, the guys from Pimax have generously donated those links to me so that you guys can get some really super deals. All right, and let's have a look at some gameplay. Okay, so oh, as you can see, this is split screen. Now what I've got to do is I've got to change over to my other computer and put my VR recording in place. Okay, and I'll leave my wheel cam on so you can see how I do things by feel. So, and again, like I say, the way I'm recording, it really doesn't show the quality. For some reason actually, I think I might know why. Let me try something. I just realised what it possibly could be. Got it. Again, I'm going in blind here, doing everything by feel. If we go into options, I think it's the anti-aliasing that might be causing the bad quality. We'll disable that. Apply. Say yes. Now, let me see the quality. That looks better. Okay, we'll try that and hope that it works. If not, like I say, I'll find a better way to do it and show you the quality later. All right, so here we go. The way I'm going to describe this, because it's hard for you guys to see this, but basically everything's crystal clear. Right now we're only on the loading screen, but it's nice and clear. The image is just like it would be on your computer screen, even with those settings so far. And then once we jump in, I'll describe what I'm seeing so that you get a better idea. All right, so in this screen here, everything is crystal clear. As you can see, I don't know if it looks crystal clear to you or it's got jaggedy lines, because I can't actually see what the recording looks like at the moment. But I'm guessing from previous stuff that I've done that it is possibly a little bit blurry or jaggedy, and that's not what it actually looks like in the headset or the VR headset, because it's the recording software I'm using is not doing it justice. And unfortunately, like I say, I'm going to have to find another way to do it. I might have to do a screen record somehow instead of using OBS, and then edit that and show you that so that you get a better idea. But I mean, I'm seeing every little detail on this truck. The signs, the badges, the AdBlue tank, the wheels, the rims, the nuts, everything's just stands out so well. Wow. It's the only way I can describe it. I mean, you really feel like you're standing in front of the Mac Anthem at the moment. Those jack-o'-lanterns look, so I can touch them. Yeah, it's just so immersive. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to over-exaggerate it so that you get the idea. It's really, really fantastic. Anyway, enough talking. Let's get in there and do a bit of driving so that we can see what it looks like. Now, again, whoops, I'm doing this by feel. Get the lights working. Lights on, ignition's on, got the park brake on, I think we do. Alright, now, time in the game, 6:52 AM, that's alright, we're going to get the daylight probably coming. Okay, so, right now, my way of describing this would be, I actually do feel like, or visually, it feels like I'm inside a real truck. And I've got the full 360 vision that you would have, in a real truck. I mean, my cat, I feel like I reach over to pat the cat on the dash. I mean, it's that real. I mean, it's so hard for me to describe it. And really get the message across to you. I mean, the sun's rays that are coming through the trees and whatnot, yeah. You know, I feel like my hands are on that steering wheel that's in front of me, even though I can't see them on the steering wheel. But it just feels, you know, I'm in that position where my hands are, it feels like that's where that wheel is. I know it's really weird for me to describe. Looking at the mirrors on the front of the truck, so that one's looking a bit over there. That's all right now. It's, yeah, I can see all the gauges clearly. The GPS down here, I feel like I could reach out and touch it. The bigger GPS, and then the smaller one. I honestly feel like I can touch it. Same with the mirrors, I feel like I can reach over to the mirrors and adjust them. And looking out across town down there, yeah, it looks real, but not real at the same time, if you know what I mean. 3D-ish wise, it looks real. I mean, but because of game graphics, it does look more like game graphics than real life. I'm not really explaining it very well. I'm just trying to get you the message across that this really is fantastic. The fact that when you get up behind a car, if we can get close enough to this one to show you, when you get up behind the car, I can see inside the car, like I'm looking down into the car, looking into it. The one that really spun me out was I came up behind a pickup, and looking into the pickup, you could see his dashboard, all his instruments on his dashboard. He even had like a tablet on the dashboard. You could see what was on the tablet. I mean, you know, it's just, yeah, spatial awareness is probably what I'm talking about. It feels like you're actually in the game world. So if you ever get a chance to get a VR headset, I would highly recommend it. I'm hoping that Pimax might consider giving me this headset. I highly doubt it, but they've lent me this one. And I really appreciate the fact that they've done that so that I can test it all out. Again, like I say, in the coming weeks, months, whatever, I'll be testing out different games with it, not just ATS and ATS2. But that's what I wanted to tell you. Reversing, look into that car there. I don't know if you could see that as I can see it, but I'm looking in there. I can see I think it's a sheep. Looks like a sheep. I can see a handbag. Yeah. I can see the dash. Actually, let's get up behind this pickup. Is that a pickup? No, it's a four-wheel drive. or SUV. Let's get up behind that and see what we can see in there, just to give you an idea. Whoop. No. There we go, they've got something on the back seat. Can't really make that one out. Reflection. I don't want to get too close because I'll end up being. There's something on the back seat there. Let's try to get inside, see what we can see. This is hairy. Up, up. No, that didn't work. Should have waited until it's on the straight. Anyway, look at it. Yeah, look at the scenery. Looking up. And yeah, that was what I was going to say. When you're reversing a trailer, it is so real, and it's so much easier to actually reverse the trailer in VR than it is on a screen, because you can use your mirrors just like you would in real life. You know, you just it just feels like you're actually reversing the trailer and you can see everything. I mean, I'll pull over something so I can explain it a bit more. I'm sorry I'm getting so carried away. I just love this. I really do. Okay, so let me pull up here. See if we can find the handbrake. There we go. Oh, got it. This way. Okay, so if you have a look at that, if you have a look at the mirror now that I'm looking at, right, I can just turn my head and I can see the full mirror over there. And when I'm reversing, because you've got the wider angle bottom mirror, it just allows you to see so much more. But then I can also turn my head right around and look out the back. So right now I'm turning around as if I was in a real truck with my head stuck out the window looking back. So if I look back like that, and I can watch the trailer and see where it's going. So, and it's just all in one fluid motion. And then I can look back here into the cabin, the sleeper. Have a look at the realism. I don't know, again, I don't know if you can feel and see what I'm seeing, but I feel like I could just actually jump on that bed and go to sleep. I mean, I could reach out to the fridge or whatever it is down here, and the microwave up the top there. And then you've got a CB radio up the top there I could grab, and it just feels so. I mean, you're looking down. I just bumped into something. Oh, that's my gear shift. But I can see the cup holders down here. I mean, looking at the steering wheel, I mean, look at the again, I hope you can see this, the 3D effect of the dash. Yeah, guys, do yourself a favour. If you can afford it, grab yourself a VR headset. And if you can do it, get a Pimax, because this thing is fantastic. The quality, the crispness. Hopefully you're seeing this on this recording. Anyway, hopefully guys you get the idea. I'm keep following, because I'm going to be making quite a few more videos on this headset because I like it so much. Again, I'm going to do extensive testing with it to make sure it is good quality. So far I can't find any problems with it. Like I say, I had a lot of problems trying to set up ATS and ETS, but that's not the headset's problem. That was because I was being given the wrong information by some content creators, I'm not going to mention names, that told me that I had to stuff around with the config file and all that stuff. I didn't. All I had to do was change those settings that I showed you. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm just going to take this headset off so the screen might go funny. Now I'll swap screens. Once I hit this button, bear with me. Got to change my mouse over again. Let's change over to this one. Okay. Okay, let me do this. Like I say, I'm not not set up for this. I got to find my that. Oh no, I've got to put my. Where's my button? There it is. I'd hate to be blind, I tell you. I was actually blind for 4 weeks when I was younger, when I was involved in an explosion. I can tell you it was terrible. And I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I know I'm laughing at the moment about it, but it's definitely not a nice thing. But anyway, that was a bit of a downer. Sorry, people. Okay, now we've done that. Take these off. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so yes, Pimax Crystal Light. Do yourself a favour if you can afford one, grab one. They're fantastic. And like I say, I'll be doing a lot more testing over the coming weeks and months. And now I'll say, hopefully you enjoyed that, people. And if you did, we'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget the links for discounts and whatnot, and gift codes are all in the description. So hopefully we'll catch you next one. Bye for now.